So moving forward, let's talk about global demand of eco-friendly fiber. And for this, I would like to call on stage Miss Stephanie Thiers. And let me tell you about Stephanie Thiers-Redcliffe. It's a Cotton Council International CCI European Director Brands and Retailers based in UK, London. Steph has worked within the fashion supply chain for much of her career, first being introduced as a range merchandiser at Mark & Spencer before joining CCI in 2002. Holding many different roles inside the organization, Steph is now responsible for European side of the business. Steph has developed an in-depth knowledge of US cotton and the wider textile industry and the fashion industry supply chain. So please welcome Stephanie.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum. This is my first time in Pakistan, and I'm honored to be here. I thank you for the invitation. It's really a pleasure. I've had the experience of the Pakistani hospitality, and it's fantastic. So thank you so much. As you can see from the color of my dress today, I'm going to talk about sustainability and sustainability of US cotton. So our agenda for today is to provide some information on the US cotton production and then our new program, the US Cotton Trust Protocol. So before I go into more details about the program, let me give you some background on the US cotton production. For those of you who do not know, we are the third producer in the world, but we are the first exporter, and we represent 1/3 of global export. We've got 16,000 cotton farms in the US. We do believe that we produce the most sustainably grown cotton in the world. And why? Because we've got a very high adoption rate of precision agriculture and excellent best management practices. We also decided to introduce a new program to talk about the sustainability of US cotton. Already, as you can see on this slide, over the last 35 years, we've reduced our environmental impact by a lot. And we worked very hard, our growers worked very hard on reducing water usage, greenhouses, gas emission, etc. But we wanted to go even further. And in 2018, we decided to set up a series of goals to reach by 2025 in 6 key sustainability metrics. So how will we achieve these goals that we set up for ourselves for 2025? Well, by continuing our best management practices and by using the US Cotton Trust Protocol. So now let me tell you a bit more about this new program. It's a program that brings quantifiable goals and measurement to more sustainably grown US cotton production. It's all about continuous improvement, really, and about sustainability metrics and what we can deliver, verify, and prove to our customers. We are a young program. We started in 2020, but we're very proud because in our first year, we were recognized already by Textile Exchange and Cotton 2040 as a sustainable option. We also got recognized in May by the German Alliance as a sustainable sourcing option. So, young program, but we're growing fast, and we're really happy about this. To give you an idea in terms of the number that we've got involved in the program, number of production in the US, our goal at the moment is to reach by 2025 50% of the US cotton production. We also believe in collaboration. We work very closely with different bodies around the world. We are an ISIL community members. We work with the Sustainable Apparel Coalition for the EGMSI index, and we've been also listed in the ITC. We've got already over 850 mills and manufacturers members who have joined us from across the world. And here are the list of the mills and manufacturers who are members in Pakistan. So there's 80 of you there. And frankly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining the program. Shukriya. We also have got brands and retailers, obviously. We've got over 34 global brands and retailers, and this number is growing every month. So please look out for announcement of the next new one that's going to come on. We already had 1 year of result, and last year in November we published them because we wanted to prove to our members what we could deliver in terms of data and measurement at farm practices level. So the second year results are going to be ready in November, and we will be publishing them. How does the program work? What do we get? What is the data that we collect? First, I want to highlight that the program is voluntary for our growers. For them to participate, they must commit to a list of 120 questions, and then they must commit to self-continuous improvement. They have to fill in that list of 120 questions in 9 criteria, so it's really a self-assessment at this point. Here are listed the 9 criteria, so covering all the best practices at farm level. One thing that I want to highlight is the importance of worker well-being and safe labor. I deal with brands and retailers on a daily basis. This is my job, and I can tell you that this is hugely important to them. We've got 12 criteria to define the program. Already we've got very stringent laws in the US, and we make sure that those are maintained. So the first step, remember, was to fill in the self-assessment. The second step is after they harvest their crop. So they harvest their crop, and then they fill in with the real data that they collected. For that, they use an ag tool called Field to Market, the field print calculator. Here you can see an example of a spidergram that would be done by Field to Market. Basically, with those data, each growers will have a different result, different overview of the operation, but you will find some common principle to all, especially when they grow in the same region or in the same state. Oh, by the way, the Field to Market is an agricultural tool that's not only used for the US cotton crop, but also for other crops like soybean, corn, etc. And of course, we can't just say we are sustainable. We need to be verified. We need to provide verification and third-party reassurance to our brands and retailers members. And for that, we have partnered with Control Union, which I'm sure I don't need to introduce to you all. The last point on the program, we are governed by multi-stakeholders boards of directors involving brands and retailers like Tesco and Levi's, growers, mills, and manufacturers. We also work, of course, with NGOs like WWF, which I was happy to see as a sponsor today. Now, the second part of the program, it's not only about the data that we can deliver to our members. It's about transparent supply chain. And as you all know, this has become a very hot topic these days, hugely important to brands and retailers in Europe and in the US. They want to know where the goods come from, but not only the finished product. They want to go as far as knowing where the raw fiber comes from. And that's where we come into. So we've created a system based on 2 platforms. The protocol platform, and we work, we've got a strategic partnership with Textile Genesis. For those of you who do not know, it's a blockchain technology provider. The idea here is to provide almost real-time, a view of the real-time transaction along the supply chain. So it's a fiber-forward process. When the trader sells the fiber to the spinner, the transaction is entered into the system. And the same all along the supply network, all through to the brands and retailers. When the brands claim the consumption unit, a transparency map is unlocked. Here you've got a very simple example of a not complicated supply chain involving one vertical mill, but as we all know, supply chain is usually far more complex and there would be far more actors along the way, and they would all be shown on this map. So you would get the mills, the name of the mills, and the location. Of course, data is very important. Confidentiality is paramount. So we make sure that we do not share any data of the transaction with the brands and retailers, just the names and the location of the suppliers. proving back that it's all coming back from a US cotton origin. We also have created a claim framework because people wanted to join the program, but they wanted to talk about it to the different stakeholders. And at the beginning, it was really more a corporate program, a B2B program, but we've got working groups with brands, and they fed back to us that they wanted on-product claims because they also wanted to talk to their consumers about this program. So this is the second phase of our claim frameworks, and that will be available in about 2 weeks' time. So on that note, I thank you for your patience. Thank you very much for your attention. And again, I am delighted to be here. So shukriya. Thank you.